As Ariel mentioned, this book has a lot going on. It takes place in the 1850s, 1890s, 1950s, 1970s, and 2010s. I tried to figure out how to compress one chapter down into 10 minutes. Is that what we're doing, 10 minutes? And I was a failure at that. So what I decided to do is I'm going to read the prologue, which is pretty short, and then I'm going to introduce a few of the different main characters, and I'm just going to read like the first 2 paragraphs from each chapter, so it's going to feel a little clipped, but I think that that's a little more representative of the book overall rather than trying to sink into just one story. All right, prologue, and I forgot my glasses, so bear with me for some old man squinting up here. 1852, seagulls circle as the pale bearded men return in larger boats, this time with elaborately dressed women and children and a variety of unfamiliar four-legged animals. The birds watch through their yellow eyes as the newcomers saw down trees and plow earth into the tide flats, once rich with crabs, sea stars, and young salmon. Not the highest tides or the darkest storms could produce such change. The gulls learn to compete for food with a fresh desperation. In time, they are relegated to scavenging refuse and carrion. Many birds retreat along the shoreline. One small colony of gulls follows families from the longhouses as they flee inland. They fly up to a wooded hilltop crowned with a large gray boulder. There they find mice, soft roots, and even some smaller birds to eat. The gulls sit atop the rock, biding their time until the newcomers go back to wherever they came from and the things return to the way they used to be, which is what every Seattleite has said ever since. All right, and we're jumping up to 1856. Cecilia, Little Chief, as his friends tease him, stands shoulder to shoulder with the other children as they carve the pit from the wet winter dirt. They dig with sticks and 3 metal shovels they borrowed from settlers' cabins. Hot rings of raw skin on Cecilia's palms become water-filled blisters and then collapse into weeping holes of their own. The children work through the night without water, light, or pause. All the dead must be buried before the Bostons, the white men from the east, return from the safety of their stone longhouse and the metal boat just offshore, before the settlers can further disrespect the bodies of the tribal warriors strewn around the stump-studded hillside and crooked streets of mud. There's a little dark turn there to start off with. Lightening it up, then we're going to jump up to 2014. Sammy keeps an eye on her digital watch until it reads 1 p.m. sharp and then delivers 3 knocks on the new principal's door. She times them on a tight cadence, hoping that the knocks will convey a sense of efficiency and professionalism, first impressions and all that. She's no stranger to the school, though, that's for sure. Each of her 4 children attended Stevenson Elementary over the last decade and a half, and she's been in the main office for everything from tardy slips to forgotten brown bag lunches to checking on stomach aches, real, exaggerated, and outright fabricated. Sammy's also been here as a student herself, back when principals were more concerned about mushroom clouds than active shooters. Jumping along, also in 2014. So in each of the timelines, I tend to have 2 primary characters who kind of play off of each other. So this is Sammy's counterbalance in 2014. Sweat beads under Bruce's green 1996 Supersonics NBA Western Conference Championship hat. The frame cap, his wife says, smells like a wet dog or a dead dog, some kind of a dog. The one he wears every day to conceal the fact that his blonde ponytail is adrift on the rising seas of his scalp, no longer part of a contiguous landmass. He and his 8-year-old daughter, Sierra, push the shopping cart out of the elevator and down the endless rows of the parking garage to the dented, bumper-stickered back of his prized 1987 Volkswagen Westphalia van, the Westie. He curses himself for having let his disabled parking permit lapse, but now is not the time to dwell on that. And then, 1971, we're cutting back again. This is Sammy's mom, Ruth. Ruth spends, I don't know how I'm doing on time, so just cut me off if I run out. I got 2 more, I think I'm good. Ruth spins in her bed, her feet flying up past her head, folding herself in half, coming back around, ragdolling in circles. She's not used to drinking this much, not used to drinking anything, really. All that rum and pineapple juice and whipped cream and maraschino cherry and whatever else they put in that tall, ridged soda shop glass, giving it the innocent look of an ice cream float. She barely knew it had alcohol except for the metallic aftertaste. In the moments between spins, she slows down just enough to be hit with a combination punch of regrets. Regrets that she disobeyed her mother, Masako, who tolerates no insubordination. Regrets that she lied to her, or nearly lied anyhow, which she had never done before. Regret that she kept her mom up late worrying, anxiously rosining, and her mom's a musician, rosining and re-rosining all of her violin bows at the living room table. And then this is her love interest, Larry, 1971, Larry Dugdale. Prime rib, Saturday, while it lasts. Larry holds his index finger over the text on the plasticized menu. While it lasts, he repeats to himself. You waiting for someone, hun? The red-faced waitress asks him, a thin stripe of sweat rolling down from her temple. Yeah. He looks at his watch and says in his most forced proper diction, just my friend Ruth, she's only a minute or two late, and I'm sure she'll be here in any second. All right then, just let me know, the waitress moves on to the next table. Larry checks the prime rib details again. He even came by the other night and studied the menu. It was just like this one, but taped up to the front window. He stood outside the broiler, smoked 2 cigarettes, crushed the butts under his boot, and rode on his motorcycle home. I'm gonna cut off there because I could keep going, but yeah, lots of different layers that all in a fictional neighborhood, and that all kind of come together, or hopefully come together to build a bigger sense of place and the creation of a city over 150 years. And thank you all, I appreciate it.